The next thing you know, this man's like, hey, we were gonna draft you, but
they were out of
we're
draft
out of
picks.
And then I'm like, why are you calling me then? Then Tom Telesco called me.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm sitting here with my boyfriend, Isaac.
What's up, guys?
That was so staged. Sitting here with my boyfriend, Isaac. You guys request Isaac to be in all of my videos, so I finally got him to sit down and record one with me. So we're actually talking about the NFL draft and Isaac's experience getting drafted to the NFL. He got drafted in the 7th round to the Los Angeles Chargers, and he plays with the Chargers still today, 2 years later. This is actually the second video to a 3-video series just about the NFL draft as a whole. The last video we filmed, I will leave the link down below. We talked about the pre-draft experience and how he got from college to the draft. Like how he, like that experience anyways. So in this video, we're gonna be talking about the day individually that he got drafted. Well, I guess the weekend that he got drafted, because there's 3 days of the draft, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what day it was on.
The 3rd, it was on Sunday.
The draft starts on Thursday though, so it was on Saturday.
So it was on Saturday. Oh, it was on Saturday. Anyways, and then the 3rd video, which we will be posting tomorrow, is going to be after Isaac got drafted and got the phone call from the Chargers, what happened from there. Yeah. So if you guys are curious to see any of those videos, be sure to subscribe. And if you enjoy seeing videos like this, then give this video a thumbs up. But yeah, let's start talking about your experience.
I'm ready.
As a side note, if you guys didn't see the first part of this video, then you wouldn't know, but we kind of did like a little mukbang. Isaac ate all of his food, so he doesn't have anything left. But I still have some french fries, and I still have my bowl. But if you guys want to see the first video, go and watch it, because this eating will make a lot more sense. Draft day 2017, we're gonna take it back to that weekend. Going into the draft, how would you say you felt about like when you would be drafted?
I didn't know. I mean, honestly, I thought I could go as high as the 3rd round and I could go as late as. I didn't think I was gonna be undrafted. I thought that was like impossible.
Right.
The 3rd round. I had seen enough mock drafts. I just kind of figured I was gonna get drafted for sure.
Isaac actually decided that he wanted to watch the draft with family and friends. So my family ended up watching, well, we should talk about where you watched it first.
The 40/40 Club in New York.
So in the last video, we talked about who Isaac's agency is, and that's Roc Nation. And they actually own the club called, I think there's 2 locations of the club. It's called the 40/40 Club, and they have one in New York City, as well as that's where their headquarters are for his agency. So he was like, let's just make a weekend out of it. At that point, Isaac was like low-key.
It was a fun weekend.
You like low-key didn't have a home at that point. You couldn't like watch it in your hometown because you just weren't like.
Because I didn't know what team I was gonna be drafted to.
Right, so Isaac didn't really have like a home base. So he decided that he wanted to go to New York. We invited his family, his closest friends, my family, and that's it.
Whole thing was just stressful. I mean, really, I'm not here like,
yeah,
boy, it was
that's all you're talking about right now. We got a hotel in Times Square. We flew in. Thought it was gonna be a whole weekend of partying, and it turned out to be a really stressful weekend. But so yeah, I was in college, and you flew to Michigan, and then we flew to New York together.
We did fly together.
Isaac has the worst ADD, so he always plays with his hair. So once we were all in New York, I think we flew in on a Wednesday, and then the draft started on Thursday. So Isaac knew he wasn't gonna be drafted in the 1st round, because typically if you're that high up in the draft class, then they'll invite you to the draft. The night of the 1st round, it starts at 7, I believe. Does it happen every year at 7? It starts like later in the evening. It doesn't start in the morning like the other days of the draft. So we ended up going to the 40/40 Club. We just kind of hung out. We watched the 1st round of the draft because some of Isaac's friends were going. So we were watching the draft just to see, you know, curiosity, like where everyone ended up going. Ended up going to sleep, and then the next day, all of our family was there. So we woke up in the morning, and I actually vlogged the entire thing. I'm gonna leave those videos linked down below, and you guys can go and watch them if you want to. But so the second day of the draft was the 2nd through 4th. was third? It was just second and third.
It was second and third.
Second and third.
And boys were still hopeful.
So Isaac was pretty hopeful that he was going to be drafted that day. I wouldn't say it was like a guarantee, like we never like got an answer.
It was a possibility. I mean, boys went 7th round, so I'm lying to myself if I say it was a possibility.
But we thought at that point it was a possibility. So we had a few drinks, we're just hanging out with our family and friends in this room. And then towards the end of the draft, you were still undrafted.
The boys were just keeping their phone right here having conversations.
So the way that you find out that you're drafted for the NFL is that you'll receive a call. We kept Isaac's phone on a pillow. I actually have footage of it. We just kept his phone on a pillow and we turned it on loud and we just like left it there.
I don't even like talking about this. This is so stressful.
Anyways, we're not gonna harp on the second day too much because the third day. So the third day, it actually turned out.
It was a good day. I was super happy once the Chargers drafted me. Bolt ganger.
Okay, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a little second.
Bolt Club. Okay. Shout out to We Charge LA.
The beginning of it, like up until the point where Isaac got drafted, it was a super stressful day. We woke up, we walked to the 40-40 club, we sat in the room, we turned on, there were 2 TVs, which is also in the vlog, and we just kind of all sat around, we ate appetizers,
Boys were just, I mean, listen, we were just super stressed. Boys were sitting there trying to find stuff to do.
It's just, and he's getting a phone call right now.
949? I don't know who that is, and I'm not about to just randomly be on FaceTime with somebody that I don't know.
I feel like the whole day, you just don't have anything better to do, so you just sit in a room and you pretend to watch TV, but in reality, you're watching the draft.
And every pick, they're like looking at me to see how I feel. I turn and I look up and everybody's just kind of like feeling super awkward. I'm like, y'all are making me feel more awkward.
So if you guys haven't watched the first part of the series, Isaac had a pretty good idea that he was gonna get drafted by because they had texted him and said like, oh, you're a few.
Bro, you're playing games with my emotions. They texted me in the 4th round.
Oh, they did.
They texted me in the 4th round. Let me calm down. Listen.
Isaac thought like he just had like a good idea that he was gonna get drafted because they had been texting him and they just
were texting.
So when they ended up drafting a defensive lineman, we kind of figured that idea,
It was a dagger.
And Isaac, I asked Isaac during the draft, I was like, well, what are the odds that they draft 2? And he was like,
It happens. People draft 2 at a position, but it's not super common for that to happen.
The 4th round happened, whatever. And then the 5th round happened, again, whatever. At this point, they're not even announcing it on the television. They're just kind of just like putting it down below as a banner and they're talking about everybody else that got drafted.
Well, let's keep in mind too, they list like best available defensive end. By this time, like I was like the best available defensive end, so I'm like, all right, bet. What's up? Y'all need a DM? What's up? I'm here. I'm calling them like, bruh, come on.
So one of Isaac's teammates from Notre Dame was actually at the draft party and
this man was like, bruh, let's go. You're super stressed.
So he had been drafted the year before, so he looked at Isaac, he saw that he was extremely stressed. Isaac was just staring at his phone and just sitting there and everyone was like looking at Isaac waiting for no reaction. His former teammate was like, okay, like let's get out of here, which was probably the best thing that like anybody could have done because sitting there wasn't gonna do anything. You're not gonna like get drafted, you're just gonna
be stressed.
Right, you're just gonna.
So we left, we went and got lunch and then
I'll insert some of that footage up into the phone call. Boy, we're going shopping.
Boys really had to get their minds off the draft.
It's way better than just sitting there watching. So
I mean, I was thinking that, and then you said it, and I was like, yeah, for sure.
Hanging out.
Turn up.
What's up, coach? How are you? So then I got another phone call. So this dude called me. He's a coach. I know him. I get a phone call, and everybody at the restaurant starts cheering.
Hold on, he got a phone call. So we know the draft is still happening. It's the sixth round.
It's like just went into the 6th round.
Right, so we are waiting for a phone call from a random number, and then a phone number pops up on his phone.
I know that, I have the number saved because I know who the coach is.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh shoot, bet I'm about to go be with this coach. This dude is cool. Bet,
Right.
I'm in there. What's up? Buy me a ticket. I'm on the flight. The next thing you know, this man's like, hey, we were gonna draft you, but
They were out of draft picks.
And then I'm like, why are you calling me then? And so then I'm gonna fast forward this process. So teams will start calling you randomly and just being like, hey, we're not drafting you, but if you go undrafted, we want you. Bye. And then you're like, well, great. So that team's not drafting me. And then,
But you only received one of those phone calls.
no, I started getting a bunch towards the end.
But then they started calling his agent as well.
So then I started getting salty. We go back to the 40-40 club.
Right.
I'm salty.
And all of our family and friends are there, and they're just like sitting there like waiting.
At this point, they're lit because boys have literally been just drinking all day. Well, we weren't because I was stressed.
No,
but
we were super stressed.
But they're like, this man was supposed to get drafted a way long time ago. I'm like, I'm done with the 40-40 club, which was great experience at the 40-40 club, but I was ready to just leave. I'm like, I'm not gonna get drafted, so there's no point in just sitting here salty. As I'm just walking around this club trying to gather everybody, getting super mad.
Yeah, so at this point, we knew we were gonna leave the 40-40 club. Everyone was okay. My sister picked out this rooftop spot, and we were like, okay, we're gonna go there and just hang out, because this was like, I mean, honestly, we all felt bad for Isaac because we had like this whole he's getting drafted kind of party, and then it was the 7th round and he was like, well, I'm not getting drafted, so this was for nothing.
So then the Chargers called me, and then the rest was history.
Let me just tell you guys, like, we were about to walk out of the 40-40 club, and like half of us were outside in the lobby, half of us were outside. Isaac and maybe a few, no, not even a few friends. Who was in there? Isaac. I wasn't even with Isaac when he received the call from the Chargers.
I was looking for people. I'm walking around super salty, like, bro, what are we even doing? Can they please hurry up so we can leave? Like, in my mind, I'm thinking they don't understand how stressful this day has been. Right. Everybody's just lollygagging. Then Tom Telesco called me. And he's like, we're gonna go ahead and take you in the next pick. You want to be a Charger? And I was like, bro, you have no idea. Boys have been waiting for days for a call. And I knew a couple dudes out there, Corey Legit. I knew he was playing for him, and I knew Orlando, who he's not with them anymore, but I knew him. When
he got the call, Isaac's agency, they give them a manager, and Isaac's manager ran up to me and was like, go in the room, go in the room. And immediately my heart dropped, and I was like, okay, he got drafted. And then in my head I was like, wait, my boyfriend's like going to a state and I have no idea where he's going to. For like 2 minutes I was like, wait, where is he going? Where is he going? And then we ran in there, and he was still on the phone.
I was with the D-line coach. I was on the phone with the D-line coach.
So he was still on the phone, and I was like, who? I was like, who did you get drafted by? He goes, Chargers. And I was like, oh my gosh. My sister ran in the room.
You can now just insert, explaining it's one thing, but you can just watch the footage.
Yeah.
Right now.
This whole picture sure anything.
Oh my god. Wait, that's so exciting. It's her.
Oh, was that year we lost to them with your freshman year, I think? No.
Look at Brad. That's
No, yeah, my family was right on it.
Now we're going to the Raiders. And their selection.
Yeah, I'm 100%.
so we ended up celebrating. There was a cake involved. We ended up hanging out, and then after like we celebrated, we wanted to go. We ended up going to a really nice dinner and kind of celebrating that. And then while we were at dinner, we ended up finding out one of Isaac's best friends from Notre Dame and fellow teammate ended up getting picked up by the Chargers as a free agent as well. So Isaac was extremely hype about getting drafted, extremely hype again because it was the Chargers. And then another layer is that one of his best friends was going there. And it was just a great...
It was a nice turnaround to the day.
Yeah, it was definitely a nice turnaround.
But listen, you need to go watch the video though. You need to go watch the other video and that better explains it, but that's enough.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so that's where we're gonna leave it off because the rest of that is going to be the third video to this 3-part series. So if you guys wanna go and see that video, I'm gonna be posting it tomorrow. If I've already posted this video and that video, then you guys can go and watch it. I'm gonna leave that link down below. But if you guys wanna see any videos from me and Isaac in the future, be sure to hit the subscribe button and click on the bell right next to the subscribe button and you'll get notified whenever I post a video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to give it a... What did you just do? Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video.